Hello guys, I'm Andrei, a certified translator and a real estate concierge relocating people to Belarus over the last 4 years now. Our primary ground for relocation is real estate, so that's one of our basic spheres, and along with buying and selling, we actually are getting more and more involved into repairing, renovating and building, on top of managing the properties of our clients. So let's talk about where we are over here in this little dacha. The house sitting in a summer house community is called dacha, somewhere outside Minsk in an unnamed location. And let's see what kind of progress we have achieved compared to the previous video, which was a while ago. It seems it's quite important to be, let's say, monitoring the process yourself. Many of you, no doubt, have been doing their renovations, restorations, all sorts of things that involve, let's say, cement, plaster, dust, all sorts of devices and all sorts of people. And some of them are pleasant and some of them are not. So you understand that personnel is a crucial issue in such dealings, in such goings on. And it's important to track the personnel. Even the recommended guys who charge you pretty decent money may need to have a conversation with them once in a while, not just sort of a reprimand kind of a conversation, but just to upkeep the contact and see that people are focused and your money isn't really wasted. Just like in a real estate transaction where you seem to have professionals backed in the process, charged in the process, charging you money and kind of tracking their thing, there are always things that are between the professional things that nobody seems to be tracking until they pop up and the whole deal stops. The same thing here. Little issues with almost everything come up, and sometimes the process is not going too well. Like getting the vegetation trimmed out there to avoid a fine, getting the fence geo-survey tracked, and now to get our fence in place we need to understand the location, and to understand the location we need to restore the file. And to restore the file, we have progressed in our line for that, for geosurveying, from somewhere number 3,000 to somewhere 2,000 plus. So next spring we may have a fence. That's speaking of buying a land lot and checking the documentation after you've watched the YouTube videos or after you have consulted with a professional. Choose the land carefully and make sure the things here, the features of the land lot, are fitting your construction plan, let's say. Our bore well is functioning and is pretty much in the game, while the electricity grid is still being switched on. Just talked to the community chief. It's a very nervous job, not very well paying job. He explained to me that some old geezer here, who was an accomplished electrician somewhere else, is basically cooking up different tricks that basically disallow them to plug in the new grid yesterday. They bought this huge contraption, old one. They had to upgrade it, and they had to get all things matched to engage it, to plug it into the city grid, so to speak. That's to put it very simply. And this guy's, let's say, input is cocking things up pretty badly. So we don't have electricity yet. The people who are working in our house have to bring in their own generator. It's still a little bit better and saves us some money instead of having plugged into the old grid, for which you have to do a bit of digging. And basically this week or next week we will have our own electricity, our own meter and everything, which will simplify things considerably for the builders. As for the builders, we kicked them out. With experience is about how a man treats his workplace, his let's say environment around him, and this was the first trigger for me personally. It's not that I saw they were bad guys and everything. They were brought in by the contractor. He guarantees the quality. That's more or less what we need to know, as long as I'm not running the construction site myself. And those guys were not making me happy in this respect. Piles of nails by the walls and a pile of waste just out there. Maybe I'll give it a quick shot. It's just 1/10 of what it was before I took it out by the bags. In their imagination, there was to be some kind of a truck that would drop here and collect it all and take it all away. But well, firstly, we are kind of into nature protection here, so I'm splitting waste. It's not customers' demand. I just want the plastic to land in the plastic bins to get recycled, which we do here, for real I mean, and the rest has to go to the dump where our successors will dig it up 1,000 years ahead and later, and see how funnily we lived. So the waste is a bit of a problem, but it's getting resolved by and by. Eventually, after one more talk to the contractor, to the manager of the team, who is their HR, their boss, their payer, their whatever, we kind of realized they were, let's say, misusing certain drinks that are not improving the quality of the building, and they were politely kissed goodbye just yesterday with the new team coming in about half hour from now. So that happens. That's why you need to have a guy on the ground, and instead of getting positive reports from the team manager, just have an unbiased look and ask questions and make remarks, let's say, to keep things going. As for the site itself, it's cracking on by and by, and now we're hoping to accelerate a little bit now that the weather is freshening up, and the roof is going to get the final touch. I'll try to get a few shots to inject over here for you to understand how it looks now. The water drainage, I'm not sure about the top water lines out there for the rain canals or something. I'll look it up. Are being installed now. The snow reflectors, snow barriers are being installed on the roof. That's the new sober guys are going to be in charge of this. And the basement pillars have been mounted for the patio and for the porch itself. The door is being produced, the entrance door. And the windows are coming in a couple of weeks probably, maybe even sooner. We'll check that with the big boss. And after we have glassed it and installed the door, the place will be more secure, so we'll throw in all the equipment inside. After we get the door in and put the glasses where they belong, the ventilation holes in and out, all these things can be mounted inside and outside with the heating hoses through the floor, cast with the floor itself. It will be the final dusty touch probably to the place. The planks for the interior decoration are being painted and protected right now. So after they've been attached and after the drywall has been placed into the bathroom unit, we will get an idea of how it's going to be inside, and hopefully within a couple of months, it sounds a little bit uncertain now, a couple of months, but hopefully a bit sooner, we are going to be finished. Oh, last but not least, electric works are underway. The electrician is pushing through the wires, and it's a bit of a challenge to see where you want some light in the future, and all sorts of life scenarios have to be played to understand where you need it, where you need those light bulbs, video surveillance, watering of the land. It's not a huge land lot, thank God. Where you want to have those tracks and the parking lots and the car charger and the trimmer charger and all these things. And we'll definitely make an update about how it's working out when it's on the way, probably in a couple of weeks from now. We decided not to do the steam house this year because the place is a little bit messy, it's a little bit cramped, and to inject a steam house into such a tight space, I would say the man has to live here for a while, like a few months, come and go and walk around and sit around and understand if he really needs one and where he needs one. And then we can get the job done, especially after we have built the goddamn fence. Thank you very much for watching the video. Stay updated, stay with the channel. Thank you for supporting the channel, those who are doing that. Mostly it's just the Patreon guys. And cheers to Brian in the US. And see you later.